when you become friends first, you're just like, oh, yeah, they're cute, but I love them as a person, and I want to like.
You love them? Wow, you meet someone and you love them immediately?
Well, yeah, not like
nice over-attachment problems.
No. Not like love between us, but like I like love as in like
a trait.
A trait, yeah, like how they act as a person.
You,
yeah, jerk. Professing my love here, and you're making fun of me.
I put my tea in a glass.
Sheep. Put my piss in a glass.
Sheep.
No.
Sheep. The both of you.
No.
I don't get how that's sheep.
Welcome back to Illogically Ignorant, episode 6.
I wonder if we're going to forget like what episode we're on.
I almost forgot. That's why I stopped for a second.
A little bit of a pause. It's all okay.
Big changes, big things in the works.
Yeah.
We're on Spotify now.
Yeah.
So maybe you're listening to this on Spotify. Maybe you just got done with Joe Rogan and this came up.
Yeah, this came on your recommended.
It's definitely a step up. I'll tell you that much.
That's true.
That's true. That's facts.
I have an email I can show you guys later. Joe was asking me for some advice, but I don't know. I don't like giving charity.
Was it Joe or Jamie?
Jamie and Joe both.
Oh.
It was CC to both of them.
So what's been going on recently? What since the last podcast?
We started a cut. We're losing weight, guys.
Has it been?
Yeah.
Oh,
It's been a minute
since we filmed. Yeah.
Yeah, we're on a house cut right now, and
we're all down weight right now.
A little bit for all of us, right?
Yeah. I mean, if I count all mine, I'm down 10 pounds.
We can't count all yours. You had a lot of water weight to start off with.
4 pounds then. 4 pounds.
Yeah, 4 pounds
in like 2 or 3 weeks.
I'm down 3.5 pounds right now as of today.
Yeah, down 2 pounds.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Mine started a rough start. I went up and then I went down.
Yeah. So these two are not suffering as much as I am, though. As much as I am.
Ryan's eating the least.
Yeah, but he's not hungry. That's the suffering part.
Yeah,
here's the thing. It doesn't matter if like you eat the least but you're not hungry.
Yeah.
Even if I ate 5,000 calories and I was so starving all the time, I'd still be suffering the most. I'd say.
Yeah.
I think in all fairness.
That's fair. Like I guess suffering depends on the person.
That's true.
And how much they can.
My
handle.
suffering is just.
Well, you're just suffering objective or subjective?
That's definitely subjective.
Yeah.
Someone could be objective.
No.
Suffering.
No, you can't.
No. Like there's things in your brain that like help you or not help you. They determine how much you interpret pain. So like some people can, I don't know, feel it more. Some people can feel it less.
My emotional pain tolerance is so low.
Yeah.
My stimulus level, like what's it like the activation energy or whatever, the level at which I become just miserable.
It's really low.
Super low.
So don't dislike the video, guys. David will go on a crying spree.
David wakes out of bed and like he touches the floor, and if it's too cold, he just immediately becomes depressed.
I think it happened once or twice.
That happens all the time. It happens. It's April. Day. It's April, and it's still happening. It was like 40 degrees today.
It was really brutally cold today.
Super cold. I don't know what's going on. And the heat doesn't get up to my room.
You gotta love.
Heat only gets up to my room in the summer when it's 90 degrees.
I mean, Luke's room doesn't have any heat because he leaves the air conditioning on the entire time. So.
I'm hot year round. I need it on.
Imbecile.
Okay.
No, just hot.
Let's start out. Let's start out with a kind of deeper question. Okay.
My brain's not ready for it.
Hopefully it is. We'll see.
We'll see.
You have a child. I'm going with this one. You have a child swapped at birth. It's been about a year.
Yeah.
You didn't know until this year is up. You find out, hey, this other couple's been raising my actual biological child. You keep your current child or you swap.
And this is like newborn to 1 year?
Yes. Newborn to 1 year.
This is hard. Because I feel like we might all have the same thing.
So...
Let's do a countdown. We'll do like 3, 2, 1, and we all.
Okay. So how about this? 1 is you keep, 2 is you swap.
Okay.
And on the count of 3, we'll just hold up a finger.
Yeah.
All right. So one is keep, right?
One is
keep, 2 is swap, right? 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
So we all agree if it's a year.
Yeah.
Right?
It's not enough time.
Let's bump it up 3. Let's go 3 years.
Okay, so
You've got a child with 3 years. You see them
infancy
like
to
develop.
3 years.
Yeah, infancy to 3 years.
Okay,
Well, I mean, birth to
birth to 3 years.
3 years, because infancy is kind of 3 years.
Set time period. Yeah.
Yeah, you should get your developmental stages correct.
My bad. I took a whole class over that.
Mr.
too.
Doctor.
Yeah, all right. How about 3 years? Number 1, keep. Number 2, swap.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Okay.
All right, we got a debate now.
We got a debate. Yeah, we can fight this.
Yeah.
So you're swapping?
I'm swapping, yeah.
Interesting.
Time for me to get ragdolled, I guess.
All right. Well,
2v1,
go ahead.
as usual.
Let's go. Let's hear your.
I mean, obviously, like, it sucks that you're not raising your biological kid, even though you have your own biological kid out there. And again, we all agreed on once they become one, or that span of like birth to 1 year old, we would switch because I don't think we've learned enough about the child that we have to warrant not switching with our biological kid. Correct?
I don't think you can even say like learn about them. I don't think there's anything there yet.
Yeah.
There's literally nothing. Like they don't have
nothing
any.
in the child.
They have
right?
no personality or anything.
But it's
like
like
at
the
that
things you
age.
did with it.
Yeah. So
Them.
There you
No,
go.
I'm not gonna say it. That was
there
bad.
You go. There you go. So we all agree there. But from 0 to 3, I feel like that's the point where they start to develop their own personality. You get to, I don't know, teach them how to walk, or they begin to learn how to walk. They begin saying words.
You teach kids how to walk? I don't think they just
they
walk,
learn.
right?
Well, you get them to practice a little bit.
Well, they see you walk and they want to do it.
Yeah, but like
Kids are very
like I've been around younger kids, and what you do is, you kind of make them walk a little bit, rather than like pick them up and like, I don't know, kind of stroll them around a little bit.
Sounds like abuse.
Or
Walk.
like they have like a favorite toy or something, and you like to get them to come to you. You kind of enable them to walk.
Come get it.
Yeah, basically like a little.
I mean, I agree with Luke, but I wouldn't say that the child would leave an imprint. It would be the memories with the child, not so much the child itself.
Well, that's what I'm throwing that all together, like the memories with the child and the child itself.
It sounded like you were talking
are
about
you
the
agreeing with him or not?
I was just clarifying his point. It sounded like he was saying that the memories of the child and not like what you do with the child. Like,
No, I don't think that's what you're saying.
I thought that's what you were saying. So
I was just saying the entire experience,
It's the whole overall.
Yeah, the overall experience of being with the child, raising the child, creating memories with the child, and like getting to see them grow as an individual. Yeah, it's not your biological son, but it's not, or child, but you can't just spend 3 years with them and just give them away, and then honestly take in another child that I know is your biological child, but you don't know them. Like I feel like 3 years is such a long period of time.
I agree with you, but at the same time, those 3 years is probably just like spent with the baby crying and puking the entire time.
Yeah, but that's the hard part. That's the first year and a half, and then you get to see them develop into more of an individual. They start to form a personality.
I feel like at three, there's just not enough there to warrant me giving up my biological kid for it. Like, because like, I mean, you know me, I'm very big on the whole bloodline thing, right?
Yeah.
You know, the family tree, you know, continuing that.
Yeah.
So for me, it's very hard to like reconcile with the idea of giving up a kid for like 3 years old. You don't really have much of the right. So I think we've talked about this before. Our earliest memories, I think mine was 4 or 5.
Mine was 3 for sure.
I mean,
don't know. It's all over the place.
So, like, the thing is, like, I just think, I don't know, obviously, if we're thinking about the child, probably be better for them to be raised just by you, you know, like continuance.
Yep.
But I think three is a hard part. Like, if you said 5.
You've also got to start thinking of it from the child's perspective. Okay.
I mean, from that child's perspective, I think.
So what makes this really hard and is your biological child's perspective. Okay, they're going to grow up the rest of their life knowing that they have a dad that would rather take somebody else in besides them. That's the hard part, and that's what makes me teeter on the line.
The foresight, like the foreknowledge that they could grow up and be like, well, why didn't my dad choose me?
Yeah.
Like, why did he choose?
Well, that's I mean, like,
but that's true for any age, and I feel like kind of continuing on this. Is there like a age where you would switch, since you guys are both
you wouldn't switch?
Wouldn't switch.
We believe
wouldn't
in
switch. Wouldn't switch. Yeah.
I believe 5 or 6. Like I think at 5.
Oh, okay. So there is a number for you.
There is a number.
Okay.
Like, here's the thing. Obviously, it would like 5 or 6 is probably the cutoff, because at that point, like, they're really developing memories. Like they're at, like there's something more there, like beyond just like basic instincts. Watch it, because like what babies do a lot is like watch for reactions, right? Like I've heard it was on Jocko's podcast, but I've heard Echo Charles. He was saying how his child fell and like off like a playground or something, a play set. And the child was like, he had to hold his wife and like daughter back from rushing the child and like making sure he was okay and like freaking them out, because the child was watching them. The child was seeing like how everyone was going to react. If you ran over and started freaking out, making a big deal out of it, the kid's going to start crying, right? Like they're going to like realize, oh, like this is a big deal. I'm going to start crying. They didn't make a big deal out of it. Kid just got up, fine, perfectly normal. I think that's the thing. Like a lot of what like infants are is just watching for reactions. I think they're just very reactionary. They haven't developed enough themselves yet. Yeah. But when you become older, like I think 5 or 6, you start to develop a lot of your own personal reactions. You have your own, like, you've developed your own kind of patterns, I'd say. Yeah. So I think at that point, I'd be willing to, I would keep the child.
And is your decision purely based off of just because the child is more cognitive and they develop those memories with you? So like, okay, you take the, so
I've got 2 stances.
Yeah.
Right. So the cognition of the child and the like mental ability of the child, that's from my stance. I'd be like, oh, I recognize this child as an individual, someone I've raised, someone who's become like me, you know, through my raising them. And then there's the side of the child, at which point I'd be like, well, this child now has memories of me like this. So like it would probably like, I think around that age, children would still be curious. Like if you told them like, oh, these are real parents. These are like just like your adoptive. Yeah. I think a child would still be curious, but I think that's around the age where like a child is so like becomes more bonded with, like they've already bonded with you at that point, you know. So it's like I think most children, I mean, I don't know if I can speak for 6-year-olds, but I think most children would probably be keen on, you know, sticking with like their the parents who raised them rather than their biological.
Makes sense.
I mean, for sure, like I think we've talked about this, like later on, like adolescence, like as a teenager, if you were told like if you were raised in, you know, like a good like loving home or whatever, if you were told, hey, these are biological parents, you want to go live with them, I think a lot of people would most likely say, no, I'm going to live with like these parents that raised me, you know, because like even if there is that curiosity, that wonder, like it's still, there's nothing that can reconcile that, like that
you have that
time you spent.
Yeah, and you have that safety net of knowing who those people are. Instead of just wandering off with, although they are your biological family, they're strangers to you at that point.
In fact, I'd argue that like safety net, I think it goes beyond that, because you know now that like they knew, especially if they knew that you weren't the biological kid, now you know that like they like actually care about you, right? Because they've still raised you even though they knew you weren't the real kid. And I think that's even more of like a security thing, right? You're always thinking in your head, you're like, wow, like even though they knew I wasn't their actual child, they still raised me like this. I don't know if like a biological, obviously biological parents can love their kids as well, right? But like I think it goes beyond that when you know there's no relation, yet there's still that kind of like love and caring for.
Okay.
Yeah. So your age is 3.
My age is 3. I feel like you would develop enough of a relationship with the child to warrant not switching. In my opinion, at the end of the day, these are just all of our opinions, and we haven't experienced anything, so we don't really know what we do in these situations.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to think, because I'm trying to think, because it would definitely mess the kid up. Right? Like for sure, if you swapped at 3, it would mess the kid up. Yeah. There's no like even if they don't have remember it, like I think they'd remember that. Like that is deep enough of like a trauma. That would be like a trauma, you know. So like it's hard. Like at like 2, I'd say swap, no problem. They're not gonna remember. 3 is at the point where they're starting to like be able to make memories. Yep. So I think if you're considering the child also, you know.
I mean, they might even call you like basic like mama papa sort of scenario. Like they can recognize your face.
Oh, they're gonna recognize you.
They'll recognize
you from like birth.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, like when they actually start like physically saying it. And then I feel like
You
if you
start like
swap,
babbling words.
yeah, I feel like if you swap and they already say like mama, papa to you, they will never call the biological parents that.
I think they would.
I feel like they're young enough to make.
I
that
mean, like
transition.
it happens with like step parents and stuff like that. Like sometimes like people like start calling them dad and stuff like that. Like so like even with people who are fully aware, like that change does happen too.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think honestly, I think I might agree with you now. Like at 3, I'd probably keep just because like it's tough. It's tough for me because I really want to raise my biological kid, you know.
Yeah.
But like it would be trauma for the kid I'm raising and also for like my actual son too. I think it would mess both of them up.
Yeah.
You know?
It's hard either way.
Because yeah, I mean you're ripping both of them out of like families that like they thought cared for them. So it's like I think that'd be really traumatic for a kid.
Yeah.
That'd mess someone up. You know, like trust for the rest of your life, like all that.
I'm just trying to play that in my head.
You're trying to like live through the scenario.
Yeah, I'm just trying to like live through everything right now. I'm just it's not pretty. The scenario's not pretty at all.
How would you feel like if you found out as like a teen? Let's say you like turn like 14 or 15, and then you find out that you.
Those are hard years.
Yeah.
Before you even finish your question, those are hard years because that's when you begin your teenage angst.
That's when you hate your parents a lot of the time. Like
It's not even hate. You just don't want to be around them. Right? It's like you may still.
Mine was definitely more. Mine was a very like anger.
Yeah.
Like so like mine got really bad.
Yeah.
I say like let's say like college age.
Okay.
Let's say your college age.
Yeah, our age right now.
You found out that like, you kind of remember but you don't know for sure, and then you found out that you had parents that raised you until you were like 3 or 4, and then they swapped. Like, how would you feel about that?
And the parents that raised me were biological or just
No, they're like the baby swap, and you got swapped to your biological like at like 3 or 4.
Okay. I would want to meet them, obviously, and talk about that experience.
I think it'd be kind of a thing where it's like a close like family like friend almost.
And that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah, I
too.
would say that the family probably wouldn't be too far apart. They'd probably see each other.
Yeah, it'd kind of just feel like an aunt or aunt and uncle.
Actually, now that I think about it, it's pretty much my scenario. So like I have the like my godfather, like my family friend that basically I think I spent more time with them when I was like growing up as a toddler than I did with my actual family because we lived next to each other. So like it'd be like my parents would be at work. And then I'd go over and like hang out there like before like kindergarten and all that, you know. So
that explains a lot.
What explains a lot?
I have actually no idea what you're implying with that one.
I mean, the only thing I can say it explains is my English, because my English.
Oh, did they speak?
I learned English from
yeah.
They're American. They're American.
Okay.
So I learned English from them.
Yeah.
I learned a lot of American culture from them. So I think that's why like I seem very like. If you don't see me,
American,
I think a lot of people seem like would probably think I'm American. Like the way I talk, the stuff I talk about, you know. So it's like a lot of my values and stuff like that. So I think that it was good for me. But I think that's pretty much how it turned out. Like at that point, because it's not like I don't think there'd be any animosity there. You know, like both sides would be.
No, there'd be no animosity.
As long as like both were loving. As long as like both sides were like loving and caring.
Yeah, if I wasn't like pulled out of like a dangerous environment and they were obviously loving. I would just be more curious than anything. I would just want to get to know them a little bit.
Yeah, especially like this age. I'd be like, I want to know the people who like raised me before my biological parents.
Yeah, what was I like when I was younger?
See, that's the thing though. Like, I don't think you would have been like there's nothing.
I think looking back on it and not experiencing
it would have just been like, oh, you like cried and pooped your pants a lot, like every other child at 3 years old. You know, like
at 3, you begin to potty train.
I know you're just.
I think you still poop your pants a good deal, right?
Depends.
I'm not searching to 3-year-olds poop their pants.
You can just search up when our kids normally potty train.
No, but like
it's like 2, isn't it?
I don't know.
I just think that
It's fairly young.
Usually they need something to like get them to do it. Like I needed something to get me to do it. Like my parents are like, oh, let's go do this if you go to the restroom.
So some are ready between a year to 2 years. Mm-hmm. Some might not be ready until they're 3 years old.
Okay, so yeah.
So yeah, somewhere in that range between 2 and 3.
Yeah. So I think I still don't know though. I don't think there's enough there. Like I really don't think there's enough there to like be like, oh, you were like this. But then again, I don't remember what I was like when I was 3. You know, so I think if someone told me stories about when I was 3,
people tell me stories about when I was younger, and I'm just fascinated.
Were you similar?
So yeah.
Were you really? You just eat all the time. You just sleep all the time.
I don't do any of those things.
What do you do?
I don't eat that much though. Right?
No, that's true. Yeah. Did you talk a lot?
Did
you argue a lot with me?
Yeah.
With David.
We were friends when we were young.
Yeah, he's the family friend.
No, something that would happen is that I have 2 younger sisters, and they would always fight when they were younger. They were just screaming. Yeah, this is like 1 and 2 years old. They're always just screaming and yelling.
How old were you at the time?
2 or 3.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm about a year older than them. And I would tell my mom, can I go over to my grandma's because they are scaring me. They are making me sad.
You're scared of your sisters
And that's
arguing.
and that's what I do now. Whenever they argue, I want to go somewhere else.
Really? It's that deep of a...
It's that deep.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
See, I'm not saying that's not something that you carried over, but at the same time, it's like...
But
Not
that's
for
just
the
like
same reason.
a strong personality trait, though.
I think
Maybe not a personality trait, but like a strong experience.
It's just something that you, like, whenever you... It's like a cause and effect sort of thing. You hear your sisters and you just want to leave.
Yeah, because I don't know if that carried over.
But like specifically, I would want to go over to my grandma's because my grandma would calm me down.
Okay, well, now if you and your sister are arguing, do you go to your grandma's?
Yeah.
Okay, well...
Yeah.
Okay, I thought you...
Like if I'm home because my grandma lives really close to me, if they're fighting and I need to get out of the house, I'll call my grandma up and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?"
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I'll fully accept that. So I think, are you still keeping yours though? You would still swap
I'd
at
still
3?
swap, yeah.
It's weird. I totally thought I'd be the most. I'd hold out the longest.
I thought you
for
would
the
too.
bloodline thing.
Yeah.
And then you started talking through it, and you started convincing yourself otherwise. I'm like,
I did. That's what I do. I convince myself. No one else does.
No one else does.
No one else.
No, it totally
we
didn't put
didn't-
the idea in your head, and you kind of just talked yourself to it.
Sounds like I think Dave and I switched roles.
Usually I'm the one who tries to incept him, tries to do that
Yeah.
top in his head.
Normally, I talk my way through problems like that and come to a conclusion. Oh,
I guess we swapped.
I guess we did swap.
Swapped at birth. Oh my god.
Okay. Well, going into this next question, it's kind of similar, I'd say.
Yep.
No, just to the kind of conclusion we came to. Not much to the babies and swapping and pooping in your pants. I said pooping in your parents.
I didn't catch that. But that's okay.
Yeah, I thought you said. I totally
Okay.
thought you said pants.
There's a trade-off here, right? Would you choose to become more intelligent if it meant you were unhappier? So let's talk in percentages. So it becomes like you become 10% more intelligent, but all of your happiness is 10% lower.
Are we gonna play a zero-sum game?
Everything's a zero-sum game, Luke. You
I know
this.
everything is, but is this also a zero-sum game?
I don't think so.
Or like you have a pool. Okay, it's like a game where you have a pool of points.
Oh, you have skill points. Yeah, you have skill points, and when you put one into intelligence, one goes out of happiness.
Yep. Okay.
And I guess, and we can go the opposite way if we want, which is you become dumber, but you become happier. Yeah. But I think we've talked about this and how that's basically becoming a sedated animal, and you're just unaware of your surroundings as you're happy.
Okay, but
I've
like
seen lots of people.
the argument would be like, okay, if you have like 150 IQ, but you're just miserable all the time, if you bump down to like 140, you're still super intelligent. You're at a 140 IQ. Would you be a little bit happy and be a lot happier?
But here's the thing, right? Think about the 2 ways that could make you happier.
Yeah.
Because there's in my mind, there's only 2 ways you become happier when you go backwards. The first way is this, whatever this being is that is changing this, is artificially like just putting dopamine into your brain, like just like putting dopamine in. So you're like you're just feeling happier all the time. Right? It's like a drug.
Is that the premise we're running under? Or?
So here's my thing. The only ways I see you become become happier, but also less intelligent, is either it's a doping system where like it makes you just happier all the time because you think you're happier, or it's a scenario where I said like the sedated animal, where you're dumber, so you don't think about things, so it doesn't make you depressed.
Yeah. So there's 2 theories here.
Well, wait. So
I mean, it could be a
more
mix
on
of both, but
dopamine making you happier. So would the being also be pumping you, making you think you're smarter, but you're actually not?
no, you
You're
dumber.
Yeah.
You know you're dumber.
No,
because
I
you
meant
made
like
a choice.
reverse. When you lose happiness but gain intelligence.
All right,
like
well, let's not. We're going to talk through
let's talk to the
We're
first.
going to talk through the reverse scenario first, until you talk to that. So like that, I don't think I would choose. Like I would ever choose the less intelligence, more happiness, because I would never.
I feel like you, out of anybody here, would have chosen that.
Because I'm miserable all the time.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, you just said you cry.
Well, I think like what I was saying though, right? There's 2 scenarios that I see you becoming happier. One is the artificially you believe you're happier. It's like a drug, you know.
Well,
I wouldn't want that because I don't want.
I'm I'm gonna kind of reinstate what you've been saying about the two theories of thought that I've been thinking of. One is like ignorance is bliss. You just
Right. So that's my second.
that's your second. You
one,
just
right?
know less. And the second one is if you're so smart, just make yourself happy, which is kind of your first point. Yeah, there's two schools of thought there.
Yeah.
Right. Where ignorance is bliss. So like the less you know, the better off you are, and the other side is the smarter you are, you should be able to figure out why you're sad or why you're upset and get out of there.
I don't think it means you can get out of there. Like let's say you're 160 IQ. You know, you're like a certified genius.
The smartest person to ever live. Okay.
160 is not the smartest person to ever live.
What's the scale?
It's like 200.
The scale's out of 200.
No, it's not out of 200, but it's highest IQ recorded. 160 is not like insanely high. Yeah, 228.
220. Who had two? How do you even measure that?
Yeah, so like that's the thing. I know
true
160 is just considered genius, but
Yeah.
like it's not like insanely high. But that sounds kind of cocky. But 160, but like 160, like I think even if you're that happy, even if you're that smart,
Yeah.
it doesn't imply that you can solve all your problems, right? Like let's say even at my intelligence, right? So we'll go down a little bit.
Go down
Into my
a lot.
intelligence.
You go down a line.
We're gonna go all the way to the bottom.
Yeah.
Luke's intelligence, all right? So let's
He's really
five.
happy. He's really happy.
I'm
So-
super
so-
happy
so-
right now.
So, I mean, let's just say like the problems I think about, right? I think about existentialism,
Yeah.
right? I think about just the problems with existing,
Yeah.
like afterlife, stuff that you can't these are problems that stuff you can't know or stuff that you can't exactly solve.
Yeah.
Because maybe you have the intelligence to think about the problems, but you don't have the intelligence to solve it.
Well, okay. What about the intelligence to not think about it and put your thinking into something more productive?
I don't think you can do that though.
You can't.
It's the same thing with try not to think about a penguin. Right? Like it's that same thing. It's like you can't just tell yourself to not think about it.
That's true. Don't think about a penguin, but then go fix your car right now. Go.
I'm thinking about a penguin.
As you're
Yeah.
fixing your car.
Probably.
No, because as soon as you begin working on that car, you're going to be thinking, okay, I need to get it lifted. I need to unscrew the nuts out
The
of
thing
the
is,
tire.
I mean, that happens for everyone though. Like,
Yeah.
but that's in the end, that's all a distraction. I think it's all like because in the
It's
end,
a productive distraction. Yes.
but I don't think you have to give up intelligence to do that because you were saying you have to give up intelligence to become to get out of that your thoughts, right? You have to become less intelligent to get out of your brain, or you should be intelligent enough to get out of your brain.
It
yourself.
would appear like if you were losing intelligence, you just wouldn't be having those thoughts anymore. But if you're intelligent, you're having those thoughts, but you're finding a productive way around that.
I mean, it's the same thing. Like, okay, if a song's stuck in your head, why don't you just not think about it? There's some things you just can't.
Okay, do you know when I stop thinking about a song?
How?
When I start doing something else.
But eventually, like, don't you ever like hum? You're always thinking about something. Like, you're in the car, you could be thinking about like, oh, I had this conversation with this, or at work tomorrow.
It's never. I can't be like thinking.
I don't think you can become meta enough to not think about something.
No, that's true. But you have to do something that's not thinking related.
But you'll
You
always
ha-
come
you
back.
But here's the thing: you say like intelligent. You say intelligent enough to like distract yourself, right? Mm-hmm. I don't think it takes much intelligence to like distract. I think everyone knows you can distract yourself from
but
your
like
thoughts, right?
productively, like distract yourself. Focus on like a business goal or
but
or
here's
technology.
The thing, but here's the thing,
or-
right? Everyone can distract themselves, right?
Yeah.
But in the end, everyone's going to have some kind of like free time, right? No one's going to be able to distract
Yeah.
themselves for good, right?
Yeah.
And the problem is those intelligent people in that free time, like just split seconds, they're
Yeah.
going to go back to those.
But
thoughts.
now they're thinking about those thoughts for 30 minutes, whereas they were spending hours on it before. And those hours.
But you're assuming that
But those
you're-
hours that they were spending before, they weren't getting anywhere. They weren't.
But you're
doing
assuming that less intelligent people aren't also able to keep themselves occupied for that same
anything.
amount of time.
No. They're occupying their time with something else. They're just not thinking of those things.
But I don't think it requires intelligence to distract yourself and occupy.
No. That's not what I'm saying either. I'm just saying it's a strategy to help from their distractions.
I mean, I don't. Here's my thing. We're assuming that. Let's just assume that everyone has the same ability to distract themselves from their thoughts, right?
Yeah.
The problem is, let's say that everyone distracts themselves and they only have 30 minutes, like you said. Everyone only has 30 minutes where they have to think themselves. Those more intelligent people are still going to be thinking of worse. Like, I assume intelligent people are just less happy because I almost said we.
Yeah.
Because people think about like unhappy things. They think about like the role of themselves in the universe, like their reason for living. I think that like in that 30 minutes, still that less intelligent, that more intelligent person is still going to be unhappier. Like it doesn't matter if you distract. Like I don't think that intelligence. You can't get yourself out of that rut with intelligence. I don't think you can get yourself out of those kinds of questions that depress people, like existentialism and stuff. You can't get yourself out of that with pure intelligence.
I mean, don't intelligent people enjoy games as much as like people of a lower intelligence? Because they see the pointless.
That's true.
I mean, do they?
I don't know that's true.
It depends on the type of game.
I mean, like
if they're gaining anything out of it.
I mean, most games are pretty much pointless.
Yeah, that's not true. Like anything that's
try
social.
to find people that find me dumb people that enjoy chess more than a smart person. You know, like
well, yeah, that's a good game.
Like
if they're getting something out of the game, they will enjoy it.
I think intelligent people enjoy games more because there's something like there's something to improve in, or there's something that's like there's a mastery.
Games. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're not talking about even tic-tac-toe. I think a smart person is going to enjoy more than a dumb person. Or like,
what about a game that doesn't require any strategy?
Like what? Like a game of chance?
Sure.
Then a game of chance, I think a smart person.
That's not even. Then they'll think about the probability.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're always thinking about probability. You know, like a smart
person. The only one I can
think
think of is Pong because there's only so much you could do in Pong.
No, I think a smart person will enjoy it. They'll be like, oh, I can move this stick like more efficiently if I do this. The dumb person would be like, oh, I've matched the stick to the ball. Or like I just don't think it's a very good contention to bring up that like smart people don't enjoy games like that. I don't think that's good. Like,
so let's wrap us back into our original point.
Okay, so we've kind of gone back down the flip side.
Yeah.
Let's just go into our original point, which is would you give up happiness to make yourself more intelligent?
So you've already given your answer. Yours is.
I haven't given my answer yet.
He hasn't given his answer. No
so personally, I'm typically a happier dude, and I consider my. I don't know where I'm going to put my intelligence level.
Yeah, be careful. You're talking to the people here.
I know. I'm scared. I would like to receive a little bit more intelligence. Oh, okay. Yeah, I would definitely like to receive a little bit more intelligence and lose a little bit of happiness, just because I'm typically a happy person. Like I wake up and like I'm happy, and like I had this conversation with Dave earlier today, where he told me that he was happy today. Like he woke up happy, and he said that's not something that happens often.
Yeah.
You should probably put some dopamine in you.
Oh, I have dopamine in me. It just doesn't activate as easily.
Yeah.
Just doesn't come. I don't know what it is. I think it could be biological. Could be purely biological. But my thing is,
could be.
Do you have an answer for yours first?
I say I'd probably not do it. I think I'd stay where I am.
He's happily sedated. He's a farm animal.
Oh no, choosing neutral doesn't mean I'm happily sedated.
He's happy to.
He's just content where he's at.
Yeah, I don't want to. I mean, I can get smart if I wanted to, but like I think I'm pretty average.
It would be like a thing of like, okay, if there's 100 total points, and I'm at like, let's say 50 for each. I'm pretty happy one way. I'm pretty intelligent one way. Let's just move it like 5 points either way.
For me, it's like I don't want to like stop enjoying the things I like doing.
No, that's what I'm saying. It's just slight. It's just
like for instance, working. I could be like, oh wow, work sucks a lot more than it used to because I'm not as ignorant towards it, and I don't want to like start hating work when I could just like ignore what.
Or you could just get a better job.
Or you could get a job,
When you're smarter.
Oh, yeah. Dave could just get a job.
I have a job.
What is
I have a real job.
What is it?
An internship. A real one. I have a real one.
That's
That's something that actually goes into something.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, besides me roasting on Ryan's feature, I think that here's the thing, right? I think we're not talking about the loophole though, where it's like when you're smarter, you can achieve more, so naturally you're more happy, right? But I think that's fair.
We just had to talk around it. We had to
but I think if you are more intelligent, honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I'd probably choose more intelligence. I'd probably become more intelligent. I think part of it is I'm already naturally kind of unhappy a lot of the time. What's a little more?
I feel like there's a breaking point, right?
I've already broken. I'm far.
No.
You enjoy doing the podcast. Eventually, get to the point where you don't enjoy doing podcasts.
Yeah, you're gonna get to the point where you just lay in bed and don't do nothing all day.
No, that's true. I don't think that's true.
You don't think that's true?
No, because no matter how depressed I am, I'm still gonna go to the gym. I'm still gonna do things. I'm still gonna.
What if you don't find point in the gym? What if you're just
training your body
what if you get to the point where you're just like, I'm just a hunk of meat and I'm gonna die?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what I do. At the end of the day, I'm gonna
lose all this muscle.
I don't think that's an intelligence thing, though. I think that's less intelligent. I think an intelligent person would believe that. I think an intelligent person is going to be able to see like. The point of life
what if you purely just don't enjoy the gym anymore? Because right now you enjoy it. You like to get up. You like to go.
Oh, I enjoy it now, but I didn't enjoy it 2 years ago, 3 years ago. I wasn't enjoying it back then. Huh?
When you started?
No, like I enjoyed it when I started. I had a lull for like a year, and then now I'm enjoying it again. But like during that lull, I still went.
Okay.
I still went because I saw it as a necessity. You know, like that's the thing.
Yeah.
Even if I'm not enjoying it, I still see it as a necessity. Mm-hmm. My thing is, I'm not.
Good. That's good to have.
Yeah, and I'm not saying I would like give up like all remaining happiness to become like smarter, but I think my thing is, you know, what's a little more like at this point, like because I think I'm already stuck in my brain so much, but I feel like I'm just below the threshold of like really being able to do really cool stuff. I think if I was like just a little bit better, or like, I guess it comes down to work ethic at that point.
I think it comes down.
You know, I would trade happiness for work ethic.
Oh, I think I would.
I think I'd for sure.
wouldn't. I already have a pretty good work ethic, I'd say.
You sleep until 2 every single day.
Yeah, well, I work hard when I need to work hard.
That's not work ethic.
That is work ethic.
No, work ethic is not working when you need to work hard. Work ethic is working hard when you don't need to. That's work ethic.
Well, yeah, when I'm working, I always work hard.
Yeah,
but so it's
you
like,
always tell me to not go in when my boss is calm.
No,
right? That's good work.
Okay, no, you're talking work. You're talking work as in just a part-time job at a.
Well, I'm talking about a job in general, right?
No.
job and classes and relation, like work as a whole, work in life.
Well, yeah.
So it's not just no.
So it's like you have a project due in a month and you complete it a month ahead of time. That's great work ethic. Doing it the night before or the day before is not great work ethic.
Yeah, work ethic doesn't mean while you're working on the project you work hard on it. No,
Yeah.
it means everything you're focusing on. You're getting after it.
Yeah.
Getting after it. Like work ethic for me, in my mind, work ethic would help me like just chase more things. I would be more involved. I would go apply for more things. I would learn more skills. I would like. It's different.
You would learn a language. You would learn an instrument.
Yeah.
You would read more books. You would finish your classes ahead of time.
Work ethic isn't working more intensely during work. It's working more outside of the times you have to work. It's actually
it's doing the stuff that people don't see. That's what a great work ethic is.
Yeah, no one sees like no one looks at a worker like in a company. They go like, oh yeah, that guy shows up, does all of his work perfectly, and then leaves and doesn't like do anything else. Yeah. They don't go, oh, that's great work ethic. They say great work ethic is even if you're not as efficient. Great work ethic is this guy comes in 2 hours early a day, finishes his things, asks other people, does their stuff, even though he might not be like as efficient a worker. Like he's still getting after it. He's still doing it like outside of the times he should be working. Yeah. It's not about what you do on the clock. It's about what you spend your time doing off the clock. I think that's my problem. I have too much time where I think I laze around.
You got a lot of free time.
Yeah. I mean, as a student, you just have more free time.
Yeah, especially in like the COVID times. You know, I mean, we have all online classes. It's arguably a lot easier this semester than it has been any other semester.
Yeah.
You have more free time now. You don't
have to commute or anything.
If you commute, you don't have to walk anywhere. You don't have
to wake up early to shower. You're ready to go to class.
You don't have to study as hard. You don't actually have to learn any of the material. It's interesting.
I don't know if
we traded some intelligence for happiness right there, taking these online classes.
I don't think
I've lost intelligence.
So that's what I'm saying. We got more happy, but we lost intelligence.
I'm not happier.
I'm much more miserable, and also I'm dumber. That's how college went for me. Yeah, you know what? That's my college experience summed up in a sentence right there.
In 1 year though, but it's only been this year.
Nope.
What about in previous years? Have you not gotten any more intelligent? Have you?
No.
No.
Look, I was so much more intelligent in high school. I was in a national chem Olympiad.
Yeah.
I was like ranked up there. National Chem Olympiad.
That's so insane.
I was like perfect ACT. I could not score that now. There's no way.
Really?
Like,
I think you could.
Maybe.
I think you could.
But here's the thing. I was so much smarter, like percentage wise.
Yeah.
Like I was top percentile, like back in high school.
Yeah.
Now,
top 10 maybe.
I'm just cruising. I'm just cruising
GPA
wise.
I think you're naturally just like top 10. When you're not trying.
But at that point, it's kind of like I don't know. It just feels like a wasted potential because I know it's a work ethic thing for me. You know, like it's I
think you need to listen to more Jocko.
That's what I'm gonna try to do. I'm getting after it. I think Ryan needs to listen to Jocko.
Yes.
Okay. First of all,
Ryan needs to listen to Jocko.
Why do I need to listen to Jocko?
Everyone needs to listen to Jocko.
Needs to listen
I just want to know the reason for you.
Because he just gets people going. You
gets the people going. I don't even know what that means.
Yeah, I think just like people like that, like who can just like drive up your work ethic. Like that's why I've been watching this much because like he's been driving my work ethic. I think I am working harder. So I've been dedicating.
It's not even like a motivation thing. He just teaches you how to be more productive and like how to plan out your day and what's an effective way to, I don't know, go throughout your day and do your stuff.
I think he's like listening to him has like shown me like what is valuable. I've learned a lot of like not because it's not like he tells you like, oh, this is good, like you have to do this and like, good, whatever, right? Yeah. Like it's more like he's like, I think a lot of what he's been talking about has helped me reevaluate what I find value in, what I find value in, therefore what I'm driving. Because like I think a big problem for me has always been I spread myself too thin, so I always do like I like doing something. I like being pretty good at everything.
Yeah.
But now I'm like kind of willing to give up some things to be better at like certain things. And I think that's something like I think a big part of work ethic is just finding out what exactly you want to dedicate yourself to. Mm-hmm. It's being decisive, which might be hard for you, Mr. Wishy-Washy.
I just want to be a part of everything.
You don't want to be accepted, that's what it is?
No. No, it's just I find I'm just interested in everything. There's always like something I'm like super interested in and I want to like try it. That's why I can never dedicate myself 100% to anything.
That's why I don't try as much stuff. Because my problem is I don't try as much stuff because whenever I try something and I'm naturally okay at it, I want to get good at it. That's why like there's so many like things that I'm constantly every single day, you know, like I'll go to the gym, then I'll like play some piano, then I'll like read a little bit, or like I'll play Smash or something like stuff that seems very like meaningless, or like I try to play tennis, you know, like I want to be good at everything, and that's like it's a problem because it sounds like good work ethic, but it kind of it's like misdirected. I think my problem is my work ethic is misdirected into so many different directions compared to like that's why I'm not as I think successful as a lot of people who just do one thing, just get like pedal to the metal on one thing. Yeah.
Do you know anybody that just does one thing and is super successful at it?
I mean, I think dudes like think about the most like Elon Musk, right?
Yeah,
he just grinded.
He's got 5 businesses.
Coding, you know, business. Yeah, like that's,
he's got 5 successful businesses.
I mean, they all do different things too. Like one's for space, one's for cars. Like it's all.
He's a complete opposite of what you were saying. Yeah. He's so diverse in what he does.
I think. Well, I mean, initially it's PayPal, right? He dedicated his entire life to PayPal, and then he came out and started doing all this other stuff. I just think initially, like to get started.
Okay.
Like, because you have to get to a certain threshold, right? Because you can't just constantly dedicate yourself to 20 different things and then eventually become like Elon Musk. Like, you got to be someone that like dedicates to one thing. I mean, it's same thing with like Michael Jordan, right? Like, or like I think Shaq is actually a better example. Shaq owns tons of businesses now, right? Like he's in a bunch of like endorsements or whatever. But initially it was just basketball, right? Like he focused initially on one thing. I think once you have to get really, really good at one thing and like be a standout in that. Then you can.
Shaq not very good at basketball.
I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Oh, I don't know. I thought I heard something about like him not being that good.
Like I mean, like if you compare him to like Michael Jordan or something,
he's not like an all-time GOAT like Jordan or LeBron.
That's what I was saying. I didn't think he was. Like,
but he's a GOAT. Like he's up there. He's in the Hall of Fame.
I mean, the thing is, like, I think that's the thing about work ethic is you gotta like.
He might not be in the Hall of Fame. Yeah, I don't know anything about basketball.
Can we Google this? Can we make sure?
But I think the thing is like, once you get to a certain level of achievement or intelligence or something, then you have a choice. That's the problem. You have to get there before you have before you have the opportunity to choose.
Okay.
You know, it's like people who kind of work like dead end jobs, like just like working class all day, and then they're like. They don't ever have like hobbies or abilities because they have to work. They're forced to do this thing that they didn't like maybe excel at. I'm not going to say dedicate themselves to because some people are just naturally like unlucky or something like that, you know. But like something that if you don't have something you excel at initially or like you work really hard at, I think it's just harder later on to make that decision. We really branched out. We really deviated off course.
Yeah, and we've been on this topic for a while.
Okay, so let's wrapping up. I'd probably trade a little bit of happiness for more intelligence.
I'm in the same boat. I would be a little bit.
Oh yeah, you did. Yeah.
You kind of gave me a look. I was like,
I was trying to think through because we've been talking for a long time.
We talked about
circles.
Yeah, I would become a little bit more intelligent and a little bit less happy.
I think I'm fine where I am.
There we go.
What'd you say? Okay, so is it because you think you're already happy?
He's perfect, Dave.
He's just an ascended being.
Yes.
What is it because you think you're you're really happy and you don't want to give that up, or is it because you think you don't have happiness to give, like me?
I think
But you
it's.
still gave
I
up
don't.
your
I don't think it's as extreme as you say. I would say that I feel like whatever I give up, it's gonna have like some impacts on like stuff I like to do. Like let's say I enjoy playing Smash with you guys, and then I'm like, oh, I'm more intelligent, but I don't find Smash as fun as I used to, and I just want to sit in my room and like not hang out with my friends or like and participate in whatever they want to do.
You'd be like Luke. You wouldn't enjoy Smash, but also you wouldn't be very.
Yeah, that's
intelligent.
exactly what I was talking about.
Hey.
I just.
I want to get an IQ test now.
Me too.
What if I test 145, Dave? What would happen?
I'll give you $10 if you test 145.
That's it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
I'll
it's
test
for
145.
you, not for him. Like,
Yeah. What if I test 150?
It's fine. I'm okay with that.
Oh, you're fine.
Yeah,
You're not
that's
going to give me
fine.
money, huh?
No.
You're gonna give me
they
money?
need to make a happiness test.
We'll take.
No,
we're-
it should because I know you criticize me for being dumb, and then I'm gonna get like a super intelligent IQ test.
if you test more than me, I'll give you $20.
No, I want like $100.
Yeah, you're not getting $100.
Why? Are you scared?
No.
Are you scared?
It's because if you win,
Because if
if you win, not only do my spirits get crushed, I'm also at $100. Luke, why would I give up?
Yes,
If you were so confident,
oh, I'm not that confident.
oh,
Why would it? Okay, here's the thing, Luke. Why would I potentially give up my happiness? Because I'm going to. You know how miserable I'm going to be if it turns out you test higher than me.
that's the only thing you've got on me.
Not only will I be miserable,
Yeah.
I will also owe you $100.
Yeah.
You want to talk about bottoming out? I will hit rock bottom happiness at that moment in my life.
Very quickly.
And feels
I would send you a text. Be like, Dave, guess what I did?
We've been talking about that though. We've been talking about taking an IQ test. I'm down.
I'm down
done.
too. I don't know how good that is for like our group.
or our
Because it
morale.
would be more than us. So it's like
I think us three will be fine.
I think we'll see. Maybe.
No, you're definitely gonna use that as ammo if we score low.
Here's the thing. I think it has to be a bigger group because whoever gets the highest has bragging rights. Whoever has the lowest.
Okay, but the person who gets the
That's
lowest.
just so sad. If you have the lowest IQ of your friends and everybody knows it.
God, I kind of want to do that though.
No.
Luke sounds like he's already got the lowest by his
It sounds like you're
cries.
kind of not confident, or are you looking out for something?
No,
else?
I'm looking out for somebody else. Yeah. Because like, could you imagine like?
That'd be really bad.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, I'm not confident
Like,
I'm number one, but I know I'm not.
I feel like I'm like upper middle. Like I'm in like that because we have smart friends. So like I'm not like bottom, but I'm not like top either. I'm just kind of like somewhere in the middle there.
Yeah. We'll let you guys know.
Okay.
Will we?
If
Will
we-
we reveal our IQ?
If we end up taking this, we won't. Maybe we won't say our numbers, but we could do a little.
I feel like it's kind of hard with three people to. Yeah, no, there's a
And here's the
top,
thing.
middle, and bottom.
Here's the thing, right? No matter who reveals it, it's gonna either feel like if it's the top person revealing it, it's gonna feel like they're just bragging.
Yeah.
If it's the middle person revealing it, it's gonna feel like they're crapping on the third person, and the third person's not gonna reveal it.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
We'll let you know if we do end up.
Best
taking
case
that, how it
scenario,
goes.
we all tie.
Or we get really close. Like we're all just.
Yeah,
really
if we're all
close.
like within a point.
I think we're thinking of like Jurassic, like 20 points.
Yeah. Somebody has 160, somebody has like 125, and somebody has 100.
If someone tests 100, I'm gonna be really sad, like for that person.
Just drop them from the podcast.
Oh, you're talking about one of us testing 100?
Oh, I was talking about a group of friends.
Oh, I was talking about a group. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh wow.
Do you think?
Wow.
Wait. Do you think? That was an example. I didn't mean that by it. Do you think we have a friend?
I don't
that
think
would
we
test-
have a friend that would have 100.
that would test close to 100.
I don't think you'd be in college if you test 100.
I think you'd be surprised.
I think I would. I don't think you'd be where we are.
Where are we, Dave?
Oh, I don't know. maybe both of you guys have it under your
No.
hats.
Like, where are we? Like, what does that mean?
I'd say like at like a decent university, like a public university, a pretty big, like not like a.
We've already reviewed
like.
this in, like, the
Oh
first
yeah.
episode.
Okay. No, but like at a bigger university, I say, especially now that we've made it to
Yeah.
almost our senior year, I don't think we have any friends that would have made it to their senior year and have an IQ.
I don't know. This last year is pretty easy. I feel like anybody.
But here's the thing:
You have to survive the.
You have to
2
be-
years.
with an IQ of 100, you got to be working really hard. We don't really have that many hard workers in our group. Like just grinding all day, we really don't
that
have
is
that.
true.
We don't.
We all kind of.
And I don't believe that anyone with a this is gonna sound really mean, I guess, to anyone listening, but I don't think with an IQ of 100 you're gonna be able to get by as easily as like our friends.
Yeah, they might just have to work harder. They might have to have the work ethic that you're talking about.
And I don't think that's the thing. I think it's a support for our friends' IQs because all of us are kind of lazy.
I might be the hardest working one with my classes, and I don't put that much time in.
Yeah, so that says a lot. That says a lot if
Yeah.
you're the hardest working one.
You see how little I do.
All right, I
Yeah.
think it's deep question time. We've been running.
Yeah, what time is it
It's
now?
been
50
50
minutes.
minutes.
Oh, perfect. Yeah,
It's not bad.
Yeah, that's
It's
good.
not bad.
Yeah. Deep question time, baby.
Not yet.
No. Uh-oh.
Oh,
You know what time
you guys
it is.
know what time it is.
I thought you said you
Odd
had to.
time.
I thought you said you had to.
I thought I would have to. Look at how many drinks I got. Taste them.
It's
It's just
a normal
normal.
person.
Yeah.
Normal person. We're not assuming you're dating Ted Bundy and also he's a charmer. You know, well, he
Okay.
is a charmer.
That's the whole.
We're not assuming it's Ted Bundy and then you say, oh, his eyes, and then he's got really pretty eyes. You know, like we're assuming a normal person, and then also like what is the most important thing though? Like what is the trait that sways you over to like a person?
Okay.
So
if you have a strong one, go ahead.
I mean,
I don't have.
so
I don't think this through a little
I've talked this through before.
Yeah.
Minus humor,
bit. Fun, yeah.
just because I think that it's not even like they have to be funny. It's not even like oh they tell jokes all the time.
They just have
whatever.
to make you laugh.
Not even they have to make me laugh.
No?
They have
Okay.
to be able to find humor in things. Like, for example, like, so my stance is that everything's kind of, random, chaos, whatever. Like, so I think that, like, we can't know exactly, like, what's going on with, like, the world, right? Like, bad things are going to happen, natural disasters, all that. Sounds kind of messed up, but I think the way to get through that, like, without just being miserable and in despair all the time, find some humor in it, right? Like
Yeah.
I always think that's the best way to come to terms with stuff. Find some humor in it. If everyone can laugh, if all parties involved can laugh a little bit about it, I think we're better off. Mm-hmm. So I think the humor helps a lot with not only just like getting through bad things like personally, but also through the relationship. Like if you're able to like kind of not take stuff as seriously. Obviously, there's still need to take stuff seriously sometimes, but I think having the ability to like kind of be lighter about stuff. My most valued thing.
Yeah.
You guys got it.
Oh, you want me to go first? Okay. Second. Well, I would have to say mine would be like, dedication, They're obviously like putting forth some effort, they're not just like kind of like, oh yeah, I want to do this. Like if you want to do it, I'll do that. Be like, no, I want to do this with you, So they're not just like kind of like leaving you. Like, you got to like put in all the work to make them feel like they want you. But they'll like also put in the same amount of work. So it's like kind of like an equal partnership. Not like one person's trying hard and the other person's just kind of going with it, not putting any effort in. Because I feel like, if you don't have any like dedication, it kind of just feels like no one really wants to do anything.
Okay.
Do you have a counterpoint to that, or are you just?
No, I'm just
Think of
trying to think of mine. So what's the exact wording of the question?
I didn't write it down, Luke. I think these things up. I have like 3 words written, and I think it up, Luke. What do you think I am? You think it's scripted? You think I got a teleprompter?
Yeah.
It just says most important thing in a partner. How's that? How's that, Luke? Is that change your
It says it.
insight? Huh?
Yeah, it does. Yeah. Most important thing in a partner?
Yeah.
Okay, I've got 2 ideas. This first one is, you guys can criticize me on it. I think
We will.
Yeah, criticize me. Okay, and let me know if I should go with this. In a partner, I feel like we would have to be like best friends first and foremost. Is that good, or should I do something
it
else?
depends, but like you can say that.
Okay, so what I mean by that is that it's somebody I know I can trust. It's somebody that I can already spend a lot of time with. It's somebody that I don't need to like please. I don't have to like make them laugh 24/7. Please. Well,
really bad at pleasing us.
Yeah, and dicks.
You irritate us a lot.
I know. So yeah, somebody that I can put up with, and they can put up with me. And
So you just want an easier time pleasing your partner, right?
No.
Okay, so
Maybe.
anyway,
I
so
don't
you
know.
said best friend. So what was the build up to your second point, or is it something completely different?
Well, no, it was just something completely different because this one is more like broad in the sense of like I just want to be best friends with him before anything else.
So the first one is like you just want to know your person before you date them. That's kind of what it sounds like.
You just know them. Yeah, understand them. Like I want to be just be friends with them and get to know them before like we do anything beyond that, you know?
I'm trying to think of a word.
I think it'd be good, but at the same time, it's like so.
It's very broad.
So I've had a stance on this, right?
Yeah.
I think you guys know the stance. I think it's fine for me to say it.
Yeah.
I don't think obviously guys and girls can be like really good friends.
Yeah.
But I don't think like a guy and a girl can have the same depth of like a friendship as a guy and a guy or a girl and a girl.
Yeah, I've heard that.
like so I think it's fair because like you just don't have the same like just naturally you do not have the same experiences, the same ability to relate.
I feel like you should have some sort of build up though. It shouldn't be like you met for like a month and then you just.
I definitely agree with really good friends. Like
yes.
So my past relationships have all been like really good friends. I've known them for like a year or two, like all before.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with like very good friends.
Yeah.
I guess I was just nitpicking at best friends. Yeah. That's what I was.
Okay, yeah, maybe not best friends. Like we were like
good friends.
Like good, great friends. Somebody that we get to know each other for a while, like a year or so, and you know the person before you do anything, like beyond like a friendship level. I guess.
Yeah. So okay. So
essentially somebody that could tolerate me and like.
Oh, that's hard.
Yeah, I know. You know how hard that is.
So what was your second one? Because I like that first one.
Yeah.
What was your second one to be?
What was it gonna be? It was gonna be.
That's why it's so hard to tolerate you.
You know.
You can never.
So decisive.
Wishy-washy.
My short-term memory is 0. I think I was gonna say something along the lines of like trust. I know trust is kind of like.
It's already kind of a given.
Yeah.
We set up a boundary for it.
But it's just like a thing where it's just like you don't have to worry about it.
And the thing is, I think I'm gonna nitpick.
You can nitpick that, and that's why I wanted the first one more, because I didn't want to. Because humor is obviously super important. I'm trying to pick something different, but like just not having to worry about like if they're gonna go out with friends or like.
See, so my thing is, right, I think that, like, I agree that having that kind of dedication to each other or, like, some kind of, that kind of, like, unspoken agreement. Yeah. But my thing is just saying trust is a hard one. Because, right,
and that's why I like my first one the most.
Yeah. No, I think your first one is better, but I'm just going to, like, kind of nitpick at trust so people, like, know what I'm talking about. Yeah. I think my issue with trust is that it is... you can trust someone fully, but it can be unfounded trust, right? Like that trust can be betrayed. That trust can be built on not much. You can trust someone, and they can break that, right? So I think that's my problem with trust is that
it can be broken.
Both people can trust each other fully, but that other person can still do something that like outside of your trust, like break your trust. Yeah. Because I mean, as humans, right? Like we kind of expect things to be in patterns. Mm-hmm. You've never seen this person do this thing before. Like, we can talk about any behavior, right? But let's say you're in a relationship. You've never seen this person do anything before, like this thing before. Yeah. You trust them not to do that because you've never seen it. Yeah. Boom, they break it. Like, your pattern is just gone, right? Like, your natural mental instinct is shattered. So,
like, free will?
No. Because your perception of someone doesn't mean that you took into account everything, right? Okay. Like me, if I started dating a girl and I was like, oh, I trust this girl not to do this, and then she does it, that doesn't mean that she had like the free will and changed that. It just means that I didn't know enough about her past, didn't know enough about her to take that into consideration. Because I think with all of that, you could have known.
Makes sense. Makes sense. I agree.
So I mean, I think that all comes back down to like the best, like to having like a friend thing, right? Because like naturally as friends. Probably have that trust. You probably trust each other if you're friends. Like
I feel like just having that friendship level is just another level of like security in a sense. Like you know them better. It's harder to do something wrong to your friends, especially if you've known them for a decent amount of time.
I'm gonna like kind of disagree with that. I mean, the stereotype of a high school friend group when you date inside the group, you all good friends, but then like Sarah when cheated on Brad, it's like. It's just kind of like that sort of thing where it's like, you could be good friends, but that's always not a good indicator. It's a good indicator of most times, like, if you, like, they probably
well, then they probably weren't that great of friends.
But you don't know that.
I just think you're saying, I just think, like I said, nitpicking a little bit again. Yeah. I just think, like, it is easy to, like hurt or, like, betray friends. Yeah. I think you have to be at a certain level where I think, like, you really, like, reconsider, but, like, I mean.
That's what I'm saying, like, great friends. Not just, like, a friend, but, like, a great friend. I mean, somebody that you spend a decent amount of time.
I don't know, because like even as like great friends, right? Like you can still like.
I mean, you
can still do stuff that like you don't know is going to really bother them, but it does. Yeah.
Because they won't say because they're great friends.
Yeah, exactly. You can say stuff that like really bothers them, but they don't know.
But like then we're. But great friends would tell you that, right? Strangers would be a little bit not adhesive, but like,
adhesive.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean,
they would be a little bit more reluctant to tell you like bad news or something that you wouldn't want to hear. Like close friends would tell you.
I'm not talking bad news. I'm saying like you say something that like you don't know is gonna really mess with them.
Yeah.
Because like obviously best case scenario you're like so close with them that you know or like so.
Or just great friends will tell you. They'll call you out.
I don't know though, right? Because I'd say that we're like really close friends. Like, but I mean, like
you guys don't let anything go. You guys just say it.
But a lot of times I think we'll say something about and like it's hard to like confront the other person. Like it really is. Like as guys, it's hard to confront someone when you're like guys and you're a friend because you don't want to be seen as like you don't want to be seen as a dick or you don't want to be seen as a crybaby, right?
Yeah.
Like as a guy.
Yeah.
Let's say you have a guy friend.
But I've seen how you guys.
But like here's the thing. So
work. You guys always just call each other out.
But as a great friends, as a girl, if you think she starts calling you out of things that you do, you'd be like, "Well, I don't really like this girl that much that she doesn't."
And then
agree. But then the dating thing won't happen because if she starts disliking things you're currently doing.
Oh, I think that's good then.
But that's what I'm saying. Like good friends, like I'm nitpicking at the good friends. Like if she starts telling you that she doesn't like this, you might lose interest.
Or you realize that I am doing something wrong.
But what if it's something you enjoy? Like
I think it's perfectly. I'm gonna disagree with you on that. Oh, we're going in circles.
Yeah.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that. I think it's better. Because here's how the thing works, right? Either she calls you out on it.
Yeah.
Either you realize that hey, this is something I shouldn't be doing. You know, she's right.
It's either you're wrong or she's wrong.
Yeah.
And then you have to figure that out.
And then the second scenario.
But what if it's not like that? What if you just don't want to?
If she calls you out, it's either you're doing something wrong
or she's picking at it, and then therefore it's not a good relationship. So you don't go in a relationship with her. Yeah. I think it's good. I think being friends is good because you get to test the waters.
Yes.
You get to
without testing the waters.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. Like you get.
I mean, what about the sparks of just going in blind? You know, like you know.
Well, that's your fault then, right? Like
no, not ending negatively. Like just saying, like you know, you just meet this girl, like yo, I really like her. Like let's just.
And then you find a million things wrong with her.
Yeah, that's how it always goes.
Half a year
that's
later.
Every single, not even relationship, but like every single relationship that's ever gone wrong is always that.
Not even like romantic. It's just like any relationship.
Any friend, any romantic relationship, anyone that's every single one that's ever gone wrong has always been you find something out about them later on that you don't like. That's every single relationship that's ever gone wrong.
Imagine like, okay, a good scenario of this would be like a dorm, okay? You have a new roommate that you've never met ever before. And you become close friends, and then you find something that just really, really irritates you and find something like gross and disgusting. There's horror stories of just people moving in with like roommates that they don't know.
Yeah, and a single factor can turn that immediately.
And like look at you guys. You guys have been best friends. You guys went into the dorms as best friends, and you guys came out as best friends.
Well, I'm just saying from the point of view, like you know, like not just like I might want to date this girl, but like you know, this girl, I really like this girl, and like you talked a little bit, but you never like.
And then you become friends.
But let's say you didn't become friends. Let's say it's like a short.
Well, then that's. I don't think that's as good as becoming friends. I think.
But what if you, like I'm just saying because from the friends perspective you couldn't like what if say you couldn't develop the same feelings as you could if you just dated them right off the bat, like you know what I mean? Like
I don't
think that. No.
But like,
it'd definitely be the other.
Sometimes you don't want to date your friends because you just find it awkward and it's like weird.
No,
I mean that
if there's chemistry there, there's chemistry there. You guys wouldn't date unless you guys both had the same feelings.
Yeah, because here's the thing: it's not like the girls I became like that I dated. It's not like those girls like. It's not like
odd an attraction of you. Oh, Dave. Oh.
No, that wasn't that one. No, but it wasn't like we were just friends and then all of a sudden like this attraction started later. It was like there was like some basic attraction in the beginning, but we were just friends. We stayed friends because we knew it'd be healthier to not rush into it because you get to know the person. You don't want to risk getting into a relationship and then finding out things you hate about that person.
Yeah,
that's why like I said, romantically, like that's what happens. Every single one of my relationships, I found something out. Or like I discovered something, or I was around one of their traits long enough to kind of dislike it.
Yep.
Same thing with friendships. Like I thought I was like going to be good friends with someone or whatever, and then you discover one certain thing,
and you're just like, oh, I don't want to be associated with that person.
Immediately it's off, right? Like that's like it's just I just think it's obviously even if you're friends, some things are still going to slip through the cracks. Yeah, some things are still like you're never going to know someone.
But not as much though.
Yeah,
no?
like. That's the thing. You're hedging your bets. You're being safe with it. I think that's good. I think
taking risks is always good.
No.
Yeah, it is.
No.
You got to take a risk when you gamble. You always got to take risks.
Yeah, that's why you just don't
make
gamble.
calculated risk when you gamble. You don't just throw money down and you're just like,
you look at you're playing poker.
Well, you look at your cards, but you don't know what everyone else has, and so you take a risk that you have a better.
But there's probabilities that you can play.
Yeah, you look at no. When you say going into a relationship without being friends with a girl,
that's literally like you before even seeing your hand, you go all in.
That's what it is. That's literally what it is. You're going.
You don't even get your cards dealt to you. You just go all in. Before
what time period of friends are we talking about? What's the amount of time? Like the minimum amount of time.
It doesn't have to. There's
no.
Time.
Okay.
No. There's no time span on friends. It's a depth of the friendship.
Yeah.
I've been closer friends with people I've known for like 2 or 3 months than people I've known for like 3 years.
Yeah.
People in high school,
like a quality friendship, somebody that you talk to consistently over like a period of like minimum like 6 months.
Yeah.
Before you start dating them.
Yeah. Like quality time.
It has to be someone you talk to consistently. Deeper conversations. You have to have some level of depth to your conversations. It can't be just about like very baseline what classes are you in? Like what lunch period do you have? I'm talking from a high school perspective. But that's the best like you can't just be very base level stuff. It has to be getting to know the person like throughout that entire period.
Yeah. Know who they are as a person. Not just how they experience the world.
I disagree with that because good friends can do that, but you both are dedicated to making your relationship work. Good friends shouldn't be a necessity for you to become.
It should be. Because because you're dedicated... Okay, if you're dedicated to making a relationship work, that just means that...
Well, you're taking it in a negative context. You're dedicated to, you both want to avidly hang out to each other. You both avidly want to have a good conversation. Find something to do.
Yeah, you can do that and stay friends for a little bit and then, to find out that, I like this person.
But what if that would have been changed if you started dating? Like, what if, you were good friends for this long, but, no one ever really made a move, so it just kind of fell out?
That's fine then. It shouldn't have happened in the first place.
But if let's say you start dating, that doesn't happen.
Then that's not... If you were friends for a little bit and it didn't happen, that means it shouldn't have happened. That's a good sign. It shouldn't have happened. Yeah. If you rush into something and then later you find out, hey, I don't really like this person, that's bad. That's a waste of both people's time, energy, all that. Money. So big on money. You know how much money I dropped in my high school? It was hundreds in each one.
Thousands?
Total? Probably, yeah.
I wonder how much money I've spent.
You spent so much more than me.
I know.
But the thing is, it's everything's a risk, but you're taking out, you're not running stupid risks.
Yeah.
You're taking out as much risk as you can.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's still going to be risk, but you're doing your best to take out the risk. When you just jump in without that knowing them previously.
Okay, so this is what I kind of think of it. When you jump straight in, it's a huge risk. Okay, you don't know. In terms of money, you're putting a huge sum of money and you don't know what's going to happen to that money. When you build that friendship and then you start the relationship, it's more of like an investment.
But
you put that money.
I just can't agree with that because you say you jump in, you're thinking I'm spending thousands of dollars, or someone spending thousands of dollars at the first month and it doesn't work out. I mean, some marriages go for 20 years.
Yeah.
Here from experience, in my family there was a really bad divorce, but they've been married for 30 plus years. They got a divorce. I mean, you think of how much money he wasted in that time period.
And were they friends before?
I think they were high school sweethearts.
Yeah, but here's the thing. But here's the thing about that.
No,
we literally said there's still risk to everything. Yeah. We've been saying there's still risk to everything. Even relationships like that.
It's still risk.
But I'm saying that from my point of view, dedication would probably be more from mine than being good friends.
Right. I've got a question for you.
Yeah.
Which relationships last longer?
What do you mean?
Between the two? If you have Group A over here, they've been friends for 2 years, and they got together after some time, and they've been together. They go, okay, compared to Group B, where they just meet, hang out a couple times, start dating. Which relationships last longer, A or B?
I don't know.
It's 100% A.
It's 100%.
No, I don't know. I mean,
it's 100%.
It's 100%. It's 100%.
It's 100%.
Yeah. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. People. Yeah, just knowing someone beforehand immediately, you will have a better shot. Yeah. And also, dedication is not a good thing when you're going out blind.
Yeah.
Because when you're blind, when you're like, oh, well, this is kind of going wrong, but I want to dedicate myself to it. Now you're just forcing yourself through a relationship that's not good for you. That's all it is. Mm-hmm. When you say just pure dedication is good when it's getting through some bumps. Obviously, if you really like this person overall, you can get over some small things.
Yep.
But what are you assuming? What I mean, like, okay, so obviously you should break it off if it's going bad, right? Like, if you, I'm not saying that you should stick with them if you find out like, oh, they have an insane, like they're just kind of like insane. They always want this out of you. They never want you to have your own free time. Obviously, you should break up. But like, if you're like small bumps, you should. I think dedication's better because you can. Get through it together.
But the thing is, being friends beforehand would have maybe let you see, maybe not. But it would have given you a better shot at saying, hey, is this person insane? Hey, is this person kind of crazy? Does this person want this all the time?
It gives you a better probability to find red flags before actually entering a relationship.
Your probability, you can't argue with the fact that your probability, like this is just solid fact. You have to agree with it, right? Your probability of finding out something bad about someone is higher when you're friends with them than you date, rather than just dating.
I mean, I think it's a better odds than just having someone who's funny. You ask me. I'm bringing your point into this. Like, if you just, like, you're saying, like, things we want in someone, right?
No, we're discussing his best friend. We're discussing his friend thing.
Yeah, we're discussing.
I was kind of bringing my point to counter your point, like why I think.
No, but you were because originally the argument wasn't about like dedication versus friend thing. It was you were saying that it's not necessary to be friends, and I'm saying that I think his thing is the most necessary. I think by far his is the most important. Being friends with someone beforehand. I would never ever just go to.
If you look at all childhood sweetheart or high school sweethearts, they knew each other before they started dating. They probably grew up with each other. They knew each other when they were 5 years old, and they started dating when they were 16. That's 11 years that they got to know each other. They know each other's families. They know everything about the other person.
There's a reason those people like always seem so close. Like some of them I remember seem like siblings.
Yes,
like,
they're like best friends. They are goofy together. They can do whatever they want together.
Like the big high school couples always were like that because like especially the ones like I know someone that got married or whatever, right? They were always like not always around each other, but like when they were, you could tell they had that kind of bond, like unspoken kind of thing. Yes. You know, like energy,
energy to them.
But like you have to have that like previous. Yeah, maybe will it work out if you go in blind? Possibly. There's a chance of everything.
There's a chance for everything.
Yeah, there's a chance for everything, but your chances are so much lower than if you were friends first and then you decided, hey, I want to do this later on. Like when you're friends first and then you decide, this is working out as friends. Maybe I want to take a risk and do a relationship.
Like, I like this person for who they are and not just any like physical thing, which typically is what happens when you start dating. Like right away. It's purely like physical attraction before you get to know them. When you become friends first, you're just like, oh, yeah, they're cute, but I love them as a person, and I want to like.
Oh, you love them? Wow, you meet someone and you love them immediately?
Well, yeah, not like
nice over attachment problems.
No. Not like love between us, but like I like love as in like
a trait.
A trait, yeah, like how they act as a person. Yeah, jerk. Professing my love here, and you're making fun of me.
But like, I think that like, I mean, overall, right? Like, I guess we can, if we want to discuss it, then we can talk from that kind of stance.
Mm-hmm. Which stance?
Which is you just meet them, like you're friends with them, and then what is one trait that brings you over to wanting to convert that into a relationship? So I think that's a better. I think
like
that's better.
you meet them at like a restaurant or like a bar, and you're just like you strike up a conversation. What's something that
immediately like?
Oh, I like that question a lot better.
Yeah, because it's less of a relationship.
Yeah,
it's more of initial like what makes.
100% it's humor.
I think
they have to make me laugh.
Because here's the thing: if I'm talking to someone, like if I'm like, because a lot of my experiences were like I'd be hanging out with like a group of friends, and then like someone would bring in a mutual friend.
So I'm gonna back up a little bit. When humor is on the table, but they have to be interested in some of the things that I'm interested in. Some of the things we have to. There has to be like a couple things.
I'd make that broader. I just want them to be interested in something. I need them to. Yes, I just need something.
Yes, if they're super interested in something.
Yeah, because
I love that.
Because I don't care about like here's the thing. I like cooking, right?
Yeah.
It's not something like I'm super interested in. Yeah. But if they're like, oh, I love I do all like I cook all these things, I bake all like I'd be like, that's cool. I love I love I love like passionate people.
Yes,
like
I think that's what I meant to say. Just like super passionate people.
Yeah, but it can go sideways.
There's extremes.
There's a limit because it has to be passion, but also not just one
obsession,
track,
but not obsession.
Yeah, like because there's some people who like they can only talk about one thing, right?
Dude, like meatheads at the gym. That's the only thing they do. They work out 7 hours a day. They go home, sleep, for 20 hours
and then come back.
and then come back in.
Wait, your math is like totally off on that.
No,
You sleep for 20 hours?
They sleep for 20 hours. They come into the gym at a different time every day. They sleep
Oh,
for
okay.
20
I
hours.
thought it was the same time every day, like 7 hours.
No,
They sleep for 20. I'm like,
no, they sleep for 20.
They sleep for a longer time than there is in a day.
They sleep again. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's definitely like, I mean, I think every group has people like that, right? Like that's something I ran into. This is kind of a little bit of tangent, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I realized that every single fan group that like, I think most of what I realized was like people on like Reddit, right? People on subreddits who post content. I didn't realize how there's so many people on Earth, and I didn't realize how many of those people are so like dedicated to one thing, right?
Yeah.
Those people just talk about one show all day. Those people just just talk about one game all day. I didn't realize those people exist.
Dude, those armchair experts.
It's nuts. It's nuts that there's people that just like someone would watch a show. Like for example,
The Office.
they have an incredible work ethic, if you ask me.
That's not what work ethic.
They're dedicated to
that's the thing, right? Like if you can be passionate about something. Okay, well, I have two criteria. One, you can't just be passionate about that one thing. You have to like care about other things, or like at least have something else about you. Two, it can't be stupid. If you're passionate about just a show,
Like what? Oh,
Like,
yes.
okay, people who are passionate about you can be passionate about shows. That's fine. If someone's like, I love watching these shows. I love watching what is it? True crime? Is that something people watch?
Yeah.
True crime, or I love watching like these action shows or these comedy shows. That's fine. Like I like
That's
watching
like conversation starter, yeah.
Like I love watching stand up. We can branch that up. But people who are like, I watched this season of this show so many times. Like immediately when someone brings up a single show,
Yes.
ugh.
Dude, when we were doing like networking events and people were telling me about their favorite shows, The Office, I've heard that like bare minimum 30 times.
That sounds so.
It's so.
miserable.
It's just like, it's good, but it's not like that good.
It's not even like the favorite show thing, because some people like I remember. So I was never one of the Game of Thrones people, right?
Yeah.
It annoyed me to no end.
Yeah.
When all they can talk about is Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Like, and people don't realize like what they're doing. I'm like you guys are the same people that like will try to like make fun of people for. Don't get me wrong. I also think these people are weird, right? But people who like just talk about Lord of the Rings or whatever all day. Or name their kids after Lord of the Rings characters or whatever, right? Like they're the same subgroup, man. Like you guys
would
are
do that. There's not like a show where you would name your kids.
It would be something that you could pass off as like normal though. Like there's people with naming their kids like Daenerys, right? Like come on. I don't know. I just think that like people who are singularly dedicated to one too specific thing, that's weird.
Yes.
Like I said, cooking, right? If you're dedicated to cooking, that's fine.
Yeah.
But like
if I need two things, give bare minimum, be interested in two.
If you're like I bake flan all day, I'm gonna be like yo,
I cook a mean salmon, dude.
I can only pan fry salmon. Like that's
and I use the same recipe every time.
Yeah.
It's perfect. I can't cook anything else, but it's wonderful. You should try it.
I think that's the thing. It's like so I think first impression meeting someone, humor is important.
Humor. Yep.
But I think that like if they're just funny, but like they don't have anything that they can talk about, like that they care about, immediately just no. You know, like because I think like if someone asks me like, hey, what do you think of this person, right? Yeah. And I'm just like, oh, I guess they're funny. I'm not gonna think twice about them. But like there needs to be something that I can be like, oh yeah, like it was super cool. Like they were into this. They were
those networking events where we have to like review people.
Yeah.
If they talked about something like significant or they made us laugh, we would know them more than somebody that was just like kind of funny or.
Yeah, but even like people who made us laugh.
Yeah.
There was always something else that they said like that was like about them that like stuck. You know, like because I think humor is a good like force multiplier. It's a good amplifier. Yeah. But they like the base needs to revolve around something that's actually important to them.
Yes.
Too often I've talked to people that just like either have only one thing going for them, or they have nothing going for them.
Do you remember that one interview?
Yes, I know.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about that the entire time. The entire time. Well, we can say it because they're not in. No, like I'm not mentioning anything specific, but it was the one where this person talked about dance the entire time.
Oh yeah, maybe you were telling me about that.
Like
it was like a 40-minute interview about just dance.
Just dance.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing. It's
be okay.
It's like I just. It'd be one thing if a person's like, oh, I'm into like all kinds of dance, like I like learning like that'd be fine. If someone was like I dedicate myself to learning, I'm a professional dancer.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. You can only have like that one thing that you're dedicated to if you're like professional.
Yeah.
Like,
or
if
even like sub-professional. Like if you were a Division III baseball player or something like that.
if you did something competitive,
Yes.
like,
Was it not competitive dancing?
I don't think so.
I mean,
She talked about it for 40 minutes. She's got to have
I don't
at least
think so.
mentioned if she was professional.
I think it's like club stuff,
I think
right?
it was
It's
more
like
like
it's
club
performance,
stuff.
performance art.
Lost interest.
Like, yeah, like I'm fine if you're like into just a single thing, but you're good at it.
Yeah.
I understand, right? But
Yeah.
like it's like the difference between a guy who plays D1, guy who plays D1 basketball, and a guy who plays 2K all day, right? Like that's the difference, right? You know what? There is not a single thing worse. Not a single thing worse than if I ask a dude like, hey, like, what are you into? And he goes, I play 2K. I play 2K. Immediately,
Yeah.
like my eyes glaze over, and like they are just not human to me anymore.
yeah. What's your go-to game? 2K?
Dude, I've had because it's one thing if they're like, oh, like sometimes when like I'm not doing anything, I'll like hop on like
I'll
and
hop
play
on
2K.
with like some friends.
But people will be like, oh, I play video games.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, sick. What do you play?
Yeah.
2K.
They're like, I'm a gamer.
That barely passes.
That doesn't even pass as a game. That's not a game.
It's a simulation.
I count
it's
people
a
who play
sim-
Sims more than
I do too.
2K.
Because Sims is
Yeah.
fun.
yeah. Like Sims, you can do stuff that you can't do like in your
Sims
real
is so fun.
I just have a vendetta against sports games. I'm very against sports games just purely because I'm like, okay, if you're playing a sports game, like
You're also not a big sports fan either.
no. Here's the thing: I would much rather go out and play sports.
Yeah.
If you were like, hey, would you rather sit inside and play 2K, or would you rather go and like play like a game of football? Like,
Yeah.
I'd be like, oh, I'll go play. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
I like playing sports.
Yeah.
I've never had. I just don't like watching because
'Cause-
watching and playing games are the same to me.
yeah.
Because you're not doing anything. You're just watching other people do it.
But I feel like you get more out of the games
What do you mean?
than watching it.
I don't think so. I think you get more out of watching it than playing the games because
okay.
watching it. That's the only reason I can understand watching.
With those specific games, you don't pick up any skill. But like let's say Smash, you pick up some sort of skill from playing. Do you learn?
What do you mean?
Is he gonna go kick someone's ass in real life? Like what?
Yeah, I'm gonna go.
skill playing the game. Whereas like if you watch somebody, you gain skill from.
I feel like it's a
So-
lot. It's a
okay,
lot more
yeah.
enjoyable watching someone play professional Smash than people professionally play a video game based on basketball. Because I'd rather just watch professional.
That's 100%
basketball.
true. Okay, I deviated.
I can like I was saying. So right, I can understand people who watch sports. I don't I don't watch sports myself.
Yeah.
But I can understand it because but the only rationale I can for understanding it is I don't get people who just watch it and they're like, oh, that was cool, and then they just walk away.
Yeah.
I can only understand it if you're wanting to play.
Yeah.
That I'm fine with. Like people who watch UFC and also they do some amateur stuff on the side, or they want to do something with that, even as a hobby.
Yeah.
Even if it's just as a hobby, I'm fine with that. But people who just watch or just play a game and they have no desire to bring that into real life,
Dude, I'm a huge fan of the UFC, and I've been watching it for 5-6 years now. I've never owned the game. It's a fun game. I've played it a lot. It's super fun, but I'd much rather just watch the event. You know?
watch the event or fight yourself.
Yeah, it's a little bit dicey, but
No. I mean, I'd rather go out and
Street fights.
I'd rather go out and like Ryan and I once we bought boxing gloves and we just like idiots. We were just standing in front of my house in this field and we just started punching each other.
You still have those boxing gloves?
Yeah. I'll bring them down. This is not. Yeah.
We can spar sometime.
Yeah.
Oh, we want to spar against Luke. That sounds like
Yeah,
fun.
he's gonna knock me.
He's gonna take out the gloves and just pin us.
It'll be touch sparring. Just
But
catch.
But that's the thing.
Touch and go.
I will watch things to get better.
Yeah.
I don't get any enjoyment out of watching things just for for example, even if I'm watching Smash, right, a video game, every single time I watch that, I'm like, oh, they did this, I'm gonna try that.
Yeah.
Or UFC, right? I don't watch a ton of MMA or anything.
Yeah.
But whenever I see a knockout thing, I always rewind because I want to see how they did it in case I ever want to try something like that.
Yeah.
It's all to pick up skills.
And you have the prior skill of Taekwondo to be able to do some of the moves that they can do.
Yeah, I'm obviously not
Not
to
to their extent, but you have some sort of background experience.
Yeah, and I think that's the thing. Everything I watch, everything I consume, I want to gain something from it.
Yeah.
I feel like people who just watch and they yell at the TV and they have a beer and they go to sleep, or people who just play 2K, they're not getting anything out of it.
No.
I just don't understand. I really
How many girls have you met that play 2K though?
none. Have you met people?
No.
Oh, okay.
We've deviated so far off the original.
Oh,
that's why I was asking.
Wow. Like I was gonna say, what was the original topic again?
Man, see, I don't know how I feel.
I feel like we need like a producer to like ding us in when we're getting too off topic.
See, like if
That would be my job. I'll ding you guys in when you finish your point. Be like, all right, topic time.
If I met a girl like at a mixer or something, and she was like, "Yeah, I play 2K," I wouldn't be as immediately just like dismissive as a guy.
I would be.
No,
I'd be interested. I'd be like, why?
No. I wouldn't be as dismissive. Don't get me wrong. I wouldn't be interested.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. I would not be interested.
But you wouldn't just like walk away.
Yeah, because like a dude, when they say that, I immediately like disregard them.
You try to leave the conversation.
I will not talk to them anymore.
Yeah.
I don't talk to those people anymore. Like a girl, like I'll still be like, I will give them a chance to redeem themselves. A dude, as soon as you tell me, like as soon as the first thing out of your mouth is, I play 2K, immediately it's over. You know, like
I've had a lot of those interviews where it's just like they tell me they play 2K and I'm just like, can I like leave now? Can I get like a text from somebody to tell me to go somewhere?
It's like evolved. It's weird because I feel like in the past, I remember in high school, like the thing would be like someone would just like bring up like a sport.
Yeah, okay.
That's like, but like I don't know why. In high school, it was you'd bring up a sport and they just talk about it. And I got sick of that. Now it's like 2K. It's like
I'd rather hear somebody talk about the sport that they play.
Yeah.
Have you played 2K before?
No,
dude. It's so boring.
It's so dumb.
It's so boring.
I've seen people because
Dude, I'd rather play Wii basketball.
I would rather play.
I'd rather
That's
play
just
basketball.
fun,
It's
dude.
so much more active.
Yeah, you could swat and
So 2K is kind of like a mini game.
It is a mini.
It's like you wait for a bar to reach a certain level, and then you press a button when it's at the max level for a good shot.
I just did.
I
didn't comprehend a single word you said.
Like, here's the
I was so
That's
uninterested.
the entire game.
like that's the thing. Sports games, I'm fine with if they're a mini game in the game, right? Like Persona has a batting cage, so you just like line up
But
and
that's
like bat.
that's not the entire
Yeah,
game.
that's like it's also why I'd never play like MLB. What is it called? MLB, like the game or whatever, right? Like I never play it because all of it could be a mini game. You know what Madden is? I played Madden before. You know what it is? Deep pass. Oh, guess what? I got a touchdown. Oh, that took so much skill. Like they try to run it, and I just deep pass, boom, I win. Right? Like it's a game.
Yeah.
There's always going to be an optimal strategy, and that is the problem.
I don't get why it's charged $60 for that. Like I don't understand.
It's because
why.
people keep paying it.
EA
I know
People
Sports.
keep buying it.
I don't get why people would spend $60 on that.
Well, they haven't. They like people have been realizing, oh, it's the same game every single year.
That's also what I don't
And so
understand.
people have just been boycotting the games.
Yeah, just
Like this year's sales for Madden have just been the lowest ever.
because you could just like I don't know, put your own character skin in the game and then boom.
Well, no, it's like the graphics don't change, the gameplay doesn't change. There's no reason to buy the new game, so nobody does.
I don't know how it took them so long.
Me too.
Like it took some people years.
You know what it is? It's because I used to play a lot of Madden when I was little, and it was cool because like each new game that you got looked significantly different than the last game. Like graphics, the players.
I get why you do that. Yeah.
Facial expressions, but then from like 2015 on, no changes. No changes at all. In fact, I think some of the older games look better than the newer games. Yeah.
That's why like games like franchises that release like that much, like Call of Duty.
Yeah.
I think they have a good strategy when they got like different companies that make them. You know, so every single one's drastically different. They haven't had like even though they've had some bad ones.
Yeah.
But they've never had two in a row that people are like, oh, this is the same game.
So what do people complain about with the Call of Duty games?
The
Like
multiplayer,
multiplayer spawnings, like matchmaking. It's more of the actual gameplay experience, like against players, other things, more than like the.
I know nobody cares about the story, really.
I like the story. Black Ops 2, I like the story.
Black Ops
That's
2 was
where it
great.
died. though.
Menendez,
That was great.
yeah.
But I haven't played any Call of Duty since Black Ops 2.
Not really. We have like the next two Black Ops, but like no one really played them. Yeah. I just kind of grew out of those kinds of games.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've never been gifted with fast twitch like mechanics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm more of a brain player. That's kind of unfortunate. I'll never be nuts at a lot of those like other games, but like I'm more. I've been getting chess again.
Yeah.
Big chess guy.
Again, Call of Duty's never really interested me for the same reason that a lot of things don't interest me. It's just you do a lot of stuff in the game and then you get nothing in return. You might get like a little victory thing at the end, but like that doesn't do anything for me. I don't see any change.
I need rank and achievement.
Yeah.
I need rank, achievement, or like true skill difference. Like,
Yeah.
Because like Call of Duty, like obviously like someone really like a pro is gonna like stomp on like me or something, right?
Yeah.
But like someone who plays a lot, I'm still gonna get some kills on Call of Duty, right?
Oh yeah.
If I played Smash against someone like who's like never played or like someone who's not very good, I would destroy them. Like we would all destroy them, like the real, right? Like. Like a game like Smash, a game like chess, right? Games where like there is just absolute dominance.
Chess is a crazy one.
I mean, chess, you will never beat someone who's like no. If you are not a grandmaster, you will not beat one.
No, here's the thing. Like with chess too, a lot of people don't know how to play it. They know what it is.
I'm surprised how many people
they know it exists, but they don't know how to play it. They don't know how the pieces move. They don't know certain maneuvers that you can do, and like
because people are getting dumber. I don't. You know that stat where it's like the human IQ is getting higher. Don't believe that. I think the max IQ is getting higher. I think the average person is getting dumber. I truly believe that.
Well, wouldn't that like have to be like someone?
Well, I don't know.
More people getting smarter.
I don't know though.
Maybe it's just like polarizing.
Maybe
the smarter people
like,
are getting smarter, and the dumber people are getting a lot dumber.
I feel like logistical thinking is going down, but the amount of information that you see and that you know is higher.
Oh, so like random facts, like people just like know random stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think true IQ.
True IQ.
I think true IQ is
yeah.
lower.
Yeah.
The internet has made people dumber. I truly believe that. I truly believe the internet, like overall, like you said, pure information, and like the wealth of information, I believe is higher.
Yes.
But the actual like logistical skills to think through things.
Yeah. No. Logistical thinking is way down.
Because I remember it's like something. I think the first time I really noticed this was back when like I first started using a computer, like when I was like 6 or 7. Mm-hmm. We had a family computer, and I remember I was messing around with it. I was trying to figure out how to download songs, trying to figure out like iTunes. I messed around with it, and I figured stuff out. That's why I was so much better with a computer than like anyone I knew.
No, I'm in the same exact boat. Like my grandma had a computer. She was a little bit tech savvier than most grandmas, but Yeah, but like I was 4 years old, and she got me like this little. I don't know. It was like a typing game for me to learn how to type.
Was it Mavis Beacon?
No, it was the SpongeBob one. SpongeBob typing.
I played Mavis Beacon.
Yeah. But she gave it to me, and she didn't know how to work it. So I just put it in, learned how to download it, learned how to like set everything up on my own, just like thinking about it and doing it. And I feel like a lot of that is just going away.
Yeah, because the big thing I noticed
it's
was
too
that
easy now.
The big thing I noticed was kids who didn't do that like we did back in the day. I noticed like when I got to like junior high school, I'd be in like some of the required like computer classes, right? Like where they'd use them, and they'd be like, "Oh, I don't know how to do this." I'm like, I get asked so many times, and it's fine not to know how to do something, but there was no desire for them to like go out and try it.
Yeah,
there's no like people these days. I feel like don't have the same like. I think they're just lazy. I don't know if it's because everything's so easy. Everything's so.
That's what I'm saying. Because
they're scared to try they're scared to try anything.
I mean, here I'll take an example. So, when I really got good at computers was like 6th grade when Minecraft came out, and like back then there was no easy way to download mods, so you had to go through the code and learn it.
I watched so many tutorials.
I know,
on how to download mods.
It was so hard, and now all you got to do is download one software and drag and drop.
Yeah,
don't laugh at that. Don't laugh at that.
Drag and drop.
But that's what I'm saying. Like everything is just it's become because computers are now like they're compensated to appeal to people. And like the software and like the interface it's a good thing, right? But it's made people dumber on how to use it.
It's too user friendly.
Yeah,
but that's just one aspect of like logistical learning, right?
But that leads into different avenues of learning how to use a computer in many different ways.
I think
like coding languages.
Yeah,
you're gonna have no clue.
How to pull up your command prompt and like you try to figure out how to navigate from there.
Do you remember having to pull up your command prompt to install mods?
Yes,
that's
like
percent app data percent.
Yes, I remember that. I thought I was like breaking my computer.
Yes, because it would come up with like the little command center. I'd be like, no, what am I doing?
Exactly, and it taught you what to do and not to do.
I didn't have that experience. I was the kid. I was pirating and torrenting stuff. So I was on the, so we were kind of on two sides of the same coin there. I was a kid. I was 6. What are they going to prosecute me for that?
Yeah,
that is
game over for you.
That is so far past the statute of limitations. I pirated Plants vs Zombies when I was like 8. Oh, sue me.
They will.
You guys are severally and jointly liable here, but I think that like
I don't consent.
It doesn't matter.
I don't consent.
It doesn't matter.
We're taking this episode off now.
But I just think it all comes down to like everything's so with the advent of the internet, everything's just so easy. No one wants to go out of the way to not even like to to learn anything, just to try anything.
Yeah.
Like, because I remember, like, back then, like you brought up tutorials, right?
Because trying anything is an inconvenience.
Yeah.
You just want to know how to do it. Everyone just
want the answer.
Yeah, you just want answers.
That's why.
That's exactly what it is. You just want the answer.
That's why I hate tutoring kids, man. I hate tutoring kids. I always because I've always found it fascinating. Whenever someone's tutoring me or like trying to like help me out with a topic, they'll be like, "Hey, like." I'll be like, oh, I don't understand this. They're like, oh, well, it's this, like this. I'm like, well, why? Like, it doesn't make any sense. I've always asked why.
Yeah.
Kids, like, I'm going to sound old. Kids these days, you know? But, like, kids, truly, like, even kids our age, like, kids who, like I said, didn't mess around with computers. I think that's a
Kids our age.
Kids who didn't mess around with computers and tech.
Dude.
Every time I'm like, hey, like, here's this. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. I'm like, you want me to explain it? Like, you don't get it at all? They're like, no, I know how to do it for the test. I'm fine.
No, that's just like, I'm not going to call it my sisters, but my sisters are so bad at technology. They just don't have like the they're incredibly smart everywhere else. But when it comes to technology, I tell them what to do and they always get confused with something. I'm just like, you just have to do.
I can't really blame them. Some people just aren't tech savvy.
No, but it doesn't make sense because
but it's just it's like logistical thinking, and they just want it done for them.
Because when our generation grew up, we had the easiest skill of computer. Like honestly, it was the easiest time to work because everything like before us, it was all coding, right? There's no way in hell we were gonna do that. But by our time, we had the user interface and everything. We had words. You click file. Oh, now you find the word. You find properties.
Yeah.
You find the word that matches what you want.
Yeah.
It's just reading.
What's the earliest Windows software? Or
one of our schools, like what was this?
97, right?
Yeah,
97. Yeah, I think 97 was the.
I mean, I remember I was using like 97 or 01 or something like that, like when I was a kid. But like,
I think on an old computer we had 95, then we had 97, then we had Vista, then we had.
Oh, Vista! I remember Vista. Vista was terrible.
Yeah.
But like yeah, it's just like I think that First impressions. Yeah, no, we're off on a tangent now. But I think like.
They gotta know how to work a computer and download Minecraft mods.
Yeah. Honestly, I think another big thing is like, I mean, it kind of comes down to having their own passion, having their own interest. Mm-hmm. Or we're going to loop back around.
Yeah, let's go.
Being able to think for themselves, right? Like it comes down to this: being able to like form their own opinions, like kind of be able to make their own conclusions, and also that ties into having their own like personality, their own interests. Yeah. I just think it's like an autonomy kind of thing, right? People don't know how to think for themselves. I think like they just see everyone doing the same thing. I don't know. Maybe this is how humanity's always been, but I feel like it's to a further extent now.
Yeah, we're too young to know.
But I think it's fair to I think it's fair to say.
We haven't experienced much,
but we experienced a lot.
I think it's fair to say though. I think it's fair to say though that like our generation is the worst of it, right? Because social media has advanced, like it's spread these certain trends, it's spread certain ideas. Everyone gets indoctrinated into it.
It has spreaded the idea of instant gratification of everything.
That's why I think even though people have always been followers for all of history, I think now is by far the worst time for that.
Yeah.
Like because it's so like you get what you're looking for so easily, so you're just like, oh, that's all I need. It's like confirmation bias.
Oh,
is like everyone just wants to hear what they want to hear.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm the same. I'm the same. Like if I believe some way and someone's like, "Oh, prove it," I search it up first sight. I'm like, oh, look at that. I mean, I'm usually right, but point is, right?
You're typically right because you read like the first two sentences to make sure that you're right after like the title.
Yeah.
Most people don't do that. Yeah. Most people don't do that extra work.
Most people barely get to the title, man. Most people get to
they see the first two words.
Most people get to the thumbnail of a YouTube video, and then they just base their opinion off of that.
Yeah. So watch our videos.
Yeah, The Punisher's in an episode. Elon Musk is in one of our episodes. Don't fact check this one.
No. All right. Well,
let's go.
That was kind of a doozy on the last one.
Yeah, that wasn't really a deep question where we started. The deep question was analyzing people and their decision makings.
Yeah, but we got cockroaches, I guess.
That's a big cockroach.
70-pound cockroach just comes flying through.
It's you.
Anyways,
you're the 70-pound cockroach.
I wish it was 70 pounds.
But thank you for watching or listening on Spotify.
Ooh,
we can say that now.
Or we got a sponsor.
We do.
We kind of.
They didn't come to us. We went to them.
We went to them.
Yeah. We begged them, please.
If you listen this far, Raid, Shadow Legends, we're always looking for a sponsor. What are the other? Audible, Squarespace, Dollar Shave Club, Squarespace,
AFK Arena.
Manscaped, huh?
AFK Arena? You guys heard of them?
I don't know what the hell.
No, I don't know.
I get ads for those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we're looking for. Sponsor us.
Sponsor
Watch
us.
our videos. Thanks for watching or listening. Like and subscribe. Oh, we got a lot to say now, huh?
Like, subscribe.
Like, subscribe, follow, share.
What do you do on Spotify?
Follow,
Listen,
follow.
and follow.
Follow.
Yeah. And we're out.